Welcome to the Herpcore History podcast, presented to you by Little Shop of Horrors. Feel free to reach out to us on any of our social media platforms for any of your feeder needs. All right, let's go ahead and get into this episode. All right, today I'm lucky enough to be joined by Wataru Himeno. Thank you for being here. And how's your day going?
It's good. Thank you very much.
Good, excellent. Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Fukuoka Prefecture and Kyoto Prefecture in Japan.
Okay. Yeah. And when did your interest in wildlife and reptiles start?
When I was kid, I was always catching insects and anything I can find around my house. And then the biggest catch was the Japanese glass lizard.
Okay.
So for me, like catching reptiles and amphibians was the big thing for us. So I got more attention to reptiles and amphibians. And then after graduating my university, I went to Ecuador for volunteer program for 2 years.
Okay.
And then in Ecuador, the herping is really popular in Ecuador. So after that, I learned a new word, herping, for me, and then started really herping in my life.
Excellent. Yeah. And so you said out of high school is when you did that? You got to go to Ecuador?
After university.
University. Okay. So how old were you at that point?
22.
22. All right. And so you already had an interest in reptiles, and it was going to Ecuador. Was that something where you went, okay, this is going to get me closer to wildlife, or was it I want to do this anyway, and then, I'm here, that's cool?
Since when I was a kid, I always liked to see all the wildlife. And then I was studying about livestock in university, about animals. And then I didn't know what to do after studying about the animals. And then I thought, I saw the ecotourism in Ecuador, and then I thought it's really good because people can save the forest while making livings from the tourism.
Yes.
Yeah. So I thought it's really good to do for my life. And in Ecuador, all the amphibians and the reptiles, really beautiful, really colorful. And I thought it's really good to start herping in Japan also. So I started.
Excellent. So that kind of fired up your passion even more.
Yes.
And especially just getting to learn about it, right? And you said it was popular over there. Were you able to make connections with other people that were interested in finding reptiles?
Yeah, there are some local people who really interested in herping. And he was working in high school, and he was teaching tourism. So he basically told me how to do the tourism by herping.
Excellent. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, and that's the reality of it, right? Is no matter where you're at, in the world, everybody needs to make a living. And so if the resources that are around you are the land and farming and building buildings, you're going to do that. But if there's a way to support your family through ecotourism, that is a wonderful resource that only keeps that resource around for longer.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting. Yes. And so getting to go down there and herping, and I'm not really familiar with the wildlife of Ecuador. What were some of the standouts for you, and what? I mean, obviously it opened up that spark there for you. What was that like?
One day I found a rainbow boa.
Very cool.
In Ecuador, yeah, and then I saw rainbow boa only from the book. Yes. And then when I saw rainbow boa, I didn't even know the rainbow boa lived in my city where I was living in Ecuador. So I thought I could see more if I look for it. And I
Mhm.
started to go out to the forest more and more. And then I loved it. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, and that's something that's so cool, especially just about any hobby like this. But yeah, you see the animals in magazines and in books, and so you're
Yes.
aware it exists. But that is the magic and the fun part of field herping,
Hmm.
that it's everything, right? It's to be in the
Yes.
environment.
Hmm.
It's the tree that you're getting to see, the plant that you've never seen before, and then you come around the corner and boom, there's the animal. It's sat there.
Yes.
That is such a cool feeling,
Hmm.
and the accomplishment that is there through that. Very, very cool.
Hmm.
Well, excellent. And so then, find the rainbow boas and linking up with other people there. What were some of the lessons that you learned, if you remember any of them, where you went, "Oh man, I can't believe I didn't know that, or I didn't think about that."
Yeah. Yeah. I was also thinking like that, but the local people from the city I lived, they don't really know about reptiles and amphibians. They don't really care. But because I found it in the garden from my company,
Mhm.
so I saved it and I was having him for a while in my house. And then people came to see it in my house. And then I tried to explain what they eat, why we don't kill them, why it's so popular in Japan. And after that, people are really interested in like how can we keep them, and then how can we call people from abroad to show the animals. And then yeah, I thought maybe I could do more, like something like this, something to something to uh, tell them about the animals.
Yes, yeah.
So yeah, so I bought the camera, and then yeah, I started everything. And then after harping a lot in Ecuador, I got more into like to see the story of the animals. Yeah,
Yes.
to
Yeah.
see them in the wild. Why do they have really beautiful skin? Why do they have like big body? To know that, we need to be in the nature, in the wild habitat.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I really like something
Yeah,
like
no.
to know that. Yeah.
And I can relate with that
Hmm.
thought where you're looking at the animal,
Hmm.
and we see these vibrant reds and greens and yellows, and we see all these, and like some stuff it makes sense.
Hmm.
You see it, and that animal looks like it would disappear. It does into its environment. And then you see some stuff where you go, how did over time you become that thing? Something that was interesting a while ago, I was looking at how birds perceive color, and it being so different. Where as humans, we so often look at the perspective through our lens. We anthropomorphize it, and we go, "Well, I see it as a red snake with this pattern, but another species doesn't." And so, right? I guess, right? Just over millions of years of these animals being picked off by predators, you get these different crazy patterns, and we find beauty in it, as we do what we do as humans, right?
Yes.
Yes, it's very cool. And it's cool to share that, to share that passion with people. And sometimes, especially online, I don't know how it is. I mean, what do people think about snakes in Japan? Like, what does the common person think about?
Because we have mamushi in Japan, so many people see the snakes and then people think it's dangerous.
Mm,
And then when I go like pet shop, when people see snakes, they say, "Is it dangerous? Is it venomous?" So most of the people in Japan think it's really dangerous. Yeah,
yeah,
it's same as other countries, I think.
yeah. Well, and it's so interesting, right? And to be someone that's in a position where you're putting yourself out there and you're educating people. I know it's something where, right, you see people post up a picture of a snake and they go, "Oh, I killed," for me locally, it's a rattlesnake, right?
Uh-huh.
And and they go, "Oh, is this a water moccasin? Is it a rattlesnake? Is it Crotalus atrox is what we have a lot in this area." And it's like, well, no, it's a rat snake of some sort, some colubrid. How can you not tell the difference between those animals? But it is just a lack of education,
Yes.
and so someone like yourself that's going out and educating people, there's so much value there. And what's cool about it is you set a spark off in that person that then it multiplies, right? If it works, then that person goes and they tell their friends, right? And it's that ongoing effect that over time, you see a difference from. Very, very cool.
Mm-hmm. It's
Do
cool.
you, over time, do you think you've seen it? I know you're saying, hey, you had an interest, but as you got older, it kind of unlocked and you understood it more. Have you seen a difference in what the average person around you kind of thinks about reptiles, or is it still a very niche thing?
It's really still needs things,
Mm-hmm.
but I think more and more people getting interested. Even like some birding guide, he was concentrating only for the birding, but sometimes when after I started herping, the guide also started to think about the reptiles and amphibians, and then yeah, he started to try to show more about reptiles and amphibians. So I think it's getting more and more popular, and then more and more people having education, having knowledge about them, but still really niche, I think.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And what is so I know, so right, 22, going out Ecuador for 2 years, getting to kind of get that education going, get your rainbow boa. After that, what were some fundamental things for you where you go, is there anything from that time that I'm missing that I should ask you about?
After the Ecuador, I worked in travel agency in Japan,
Oh,
and then that agency they have some tours to photograph wildlife in abroad.
okay.
So I worked as a tour leader, and then I went many countries to do the job, like
Yes.
Africa, Asia for birding, many countries. And then I started harping tour in the company because there's no one doing harping tour in Japan at the time.
Uh-huh.
So we started harping tour first. It was the COVID at the time. So I did the first harping tour in Okinawa, South
Okay.
Japan.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and then after that I did it in Sri Lanka.
Okay.
Yeah. And then yeah, I had many harping tour in the company. So for
Yes.
3 years, I really like it.
That is so cool. Well, that's something that I feel like every once in a while I get to talk to, right? I get to talk to all types of people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And from people like yourself to younger guys, and then talk to some of these guys that are in their mid 70s, and you talk to them and they've lived a life trying to facilitate their interest in the hobby,
Mm-hmm.
and that's such a noble, cool thing to do. And to talk to these guys that have done that is super cool. And it's
Mm-hmm.
very cool to talk to someone that is around a similar age to myself, that you're currently doing that. You found something that you were passionate about, and then you came back and you went, I'm going to build a thing around what I want to be doing. And that's super cool. That's a very cool thing to
Mm-hmm.
do. And then to get to facilitate, living what you love to do.
Mm-hmm.
Very, you know, that's badass, man. That's cool.
Yeah. I was lucky to
Yes.
know.
Well, no, I
Yeah.
mean, luck is of course a part of it, but to walk in and go, hey, this is what I want to do, and put the effort in, that's not luck, man. That's being a go getter. So that's cool. Very cool.
Thank you.
Oh yeah. And so that that's something I know you talk about is Okinawa and the animals there. And I'm not super familiar with a lot of the reptiles that are in Japan. I know
Mhm.
that man, I'm going to sound like a real dummy here, so I apologize. I think
No.
it's what you were talking about. Maybe the man. I feel like I know the name, but I don't want to try to butcher it. It's a large black snake with yellow markings on it. It's a venomous snake of some sort.
Maybe Habu
Yeah, yeah,
viper.
yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, yeah. Like I know. I think as a kid, I watched a documentary on that species and going,
Mhm.
"That's a very cool looking animal."
Yeah. It's
But what
beautiful.
is? But again, that here's a dumbass layman from from there going, "Oh, I don't know." So what's some of the cool stuff you guys have there, and what's
Of
highlights for you?
one of the highlight is the Habu snake you mentioned.
Uh huh.
It's like 1.5 meter long, and then it's really beautiful. Sometimes it's like golden color on it, and then it's one of the largest venomous snake in Japan. And also we have Ishikawa frog, which is like relatively big frog, and then it's really green and it's really camouflage to the moss in the environment. But sometimes there is a yellow pigment lacking specimen, which is really completely blue.
Oh wow.
So in the jungle, there's a blue frog, and it's really beautiful.
Oh, that's so cool. And how
Yeah,
commonly do you see that? Is it relatively rare?
yeah, like every 3 nights. Yeah, I see it every 3 nights.
Very good. Well, also too, I think that is it. I'm sure that it's definitely maybe a locality thing that's spread out you don't see. So I think again, going towards the how cool is that to have a resource like yourself, right? Where
Hmm.
maybe you're getting as a herpetoculturist that's into reptiles to take that trip over to Japan and to be able to link up with someone like yourself and get to see the range of things and as I'm sure you know, learning to herp an area and be successful in finding animals, that takes a lot of work and
Yes,
a lot of thought process into it
yes,
where it ends up that you end up being if you're successful, an unbelievably well-rounded herpetoculturist, which means you're a naturalist in general, right?
hmm,
Where you're looking at the plants that are there, what it just there's so many different factors, the weather, what weather's coming,
hmm,
this little micro thing where over time of you spending time in those areas, you go, okay, I'm used to seeing this when I see this, and it's the little kind of just the little I don't know, just it's an inner feeling thought in your mind
hmm.
where you're like, oh, this is what I'm feeling. That leads to success and the value behind that. That there's a lot.
Yeah.
Very cool, very cool. And so getting to kind of build that infrastructure around getting to do that. What is that? What's that been like? What are if you can't talk about it, like what are the guests that you're seeing, and what is that like?
Maybe I can talk about the first harping day in my Okinawa. Maybe.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So when I went to Okinawa for the first time for harping, I didn't have license for the car. I have only motorbike. And then the Okinawa is really difficult place to drive in motorbike because it's really, I don't know how to say, I don't, how to
Steep,
say,
mountainous.
steep mountainous maybe.
Okay.
And then so many dead leaves on the road, and it's really
Oh,
slippery.
yes.
Yeah, so I rented motorbike, and I fell so many times with the motorbike,
Oh no.
and yeah, I had to pay a lot of money for it. But for the first 3 days, I didn't see anything because I didn't know anything about there, and then I didn't have anyone know from Okinawa at the time, so I needed to see everything where I can find the animal I want to see and where is the place I can walk. And after the 3 days, I found my first ground gecko in Japan, Gonirosaurus species. And then, yeah, I really loved the moment. And after the first specimen, I saw many of them.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so I started to go Okinawa many again and again. And then, yeah, I cannot believe I'm doing guide in Okinawa now,
Yes.
comparing my first day in Okinawa.
Yes. Well, I mean, you hit so many cool points there. Where one, the fortitude of a young man to go, right, you're busting your ass on this motorcycle going up a hill,
Uh,
and still go, okay. Yeah, I could only imagine how sore you are,
yeah,
beaten to hell and back, and you go, well, I'm still gonna go walk and look for these animals. You know, uh,
yeah,
the older I get, yeah, that's not going to happen. I'm gonna I'm gonna
right,
recover for
right.
a little bit. That's so cool. And then it's so funny finding reptiles in the wild, right? There's so many factors, but to boil it down to a really kind of not not as much, it doesn't give it the respect that it does, but it's almost like in a video game when you're playing a video game and you finally unlock that item and you can use that item now.
Yeah, that's
That's
right.
how it feels like finding reptiles
Yeah,
sometimes where you're
yeah,
like,
I
I
agree that.
cannot believe I've been doing this for this long and
Uh-huh.
I found one and now I'm tripping over the
It's
damn things.
it's easy.
Yes, yes. And you're like, what took me so long?
Uh-huh.
But that's the knowledge that you're
Yeah,
learning,
yeah,
you know.
I agree
And then,
that.
yeah, but it feels like that. We're
Mhm,
like, this is easy now.
mhm.
It's so funny. It's so funny. Well, that's so cool. What's one of the rarest finds over there? What's like a
I don't say it's really rare to see, but
okay?
my favorite is the Gonirosaurus cloivae. It's the Japanese ground gecko species,
Yes, sir.
and yeah, it's we have Japanese law, and we are not even allowed to touch them.
Okay.
Yeah, so I saw the information from internet and the book. Since I was kid, I always wanted to see them, and then yeah, when I finally found it, I I really I don't know how to express, but I was so amazed. It's so beautiful. It's really beautiful.
Yes. Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I think that to try to relate with you in that feeling and to there's a species of snake here in Texas that we have, gray banded king snake, Lampropeltis
Mhm.
alterna, that it's not a rare species, but it's rare to see it.
Mhm.
Just be in the right place at the right time. Um, Many factors go into that, but when I finally saw one, that was like the best present that you can ever get. That as an adult, it took me 10 years from when I started
Really?
looking to finally
Okay.
find one. And
Okay.
so when I finally found one, it was, I mean, electrical, where it's
Yeah.
just I'm holding this snake in my hand and I am screaming and dancing and yelling like there's people that I'm talking to and I'm by myself, and I'm just like, holy crap.
Yeah.
And just that shaking, like, oh, that excitement of that. But then after that, I've found more, and I still feel that same way every time I find one. So
Great.
I can relate with that feeling.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, what is the reptile hobby over there?
Mhm.
Is what is the reptile hobby like for keepers? Is it common? Is it uncommon?
It's not really common,
Hmm.
but every like 100 people I talk, I found people keep leopard gecko
Okay.
or like corn snake or ball python. So
Okay.
it's not like super rare to see someone keep the reptiles,
Oh,
but still not easy to find someone have it.
yeah. No, I gotcha. And so you were saying with the species of gecko, the ground gecko that you have there, that you're saying there's laws that protect the animal where you're not even allowed to touch it.
Hmm.
Um, is the hobby in Japan mainly people keeping exotic species, and are there rules against keeping native species?
some species we can keep the native species too. So
Okay.
so many, especially for the kids, they go to the like forest and then catch everything, and then they keep everything.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so for kids, it's not super rare to see them keeping the native species, but for the adult, it's more common to keep the exotic animals, I think.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Gotcha. Is there, and so we'll focus on the ground gecko. Me not knowing anything about the ground gecko.
Okay.
So forgive me if I say something where it's like,
No, no,
not
no.
dummy, you should know this. Like,
It's okay.
is it a critically, is it an endangered species? Is
Yes.
it, okay. And you see that in the field where it's not a common thing to see necessarily.
Yeah, it's at a certain point, like they need specific habitat. So once we go to the habitat, it's not difficult to see them.
Hmm.
But if you miss the spot, it's really difficult. They live on this tiny area.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So it's something
Gotcha.
like that. Mhm.
I understand. Okay. No, because stuff like that, I think that there's a double edged sword there where if you get people interested in the species to the point where they're wanting to keep it, it boosts it. And also the pressures aren't there. What is field collecting like over there? Is it not something that's very commonly done other than like children doing it?
Mhm. Mm,
Yeah.
like only for the common species like Japanese grass lizard, Japanese rat snake,
Uh,
they are really common in Japan.
yes.
So many kids they have the species in their house, but like rare species, I don't think many people keep them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. No, it's interesting, right? Because I think it's a little bit different, in different areas of where you're at. Over here, I think that there's sometimes a little bit more pressure. I don't think that's nowadays why you see the loss of populations in areas, for the pet trade. I don't think that's a factor. Um, I'm sure, right? I'm sure someone will say, well, here, yes, that is correct, but in a broad spectrum way, so then you go, well, cultivation of that animal in captivity, it benefits the species for multiple reasons. One, it makes it interesting to people, so they care about it, and then you don't have the pressure on the wild populations there. Well, very cool, very cool.
Mm.
And so, and you were saying before we got going that you keep a corn snake. Is it a normal corn snake? Do you know the?
I have one albino corn snake,
Okay.
which I got when I was 18 years old. So she's 12 years old now.
Yes. Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Well, again, I can relate with that. My first snake was a snow corn snake,
Ah, good.
and so I appreciate corn snakes. They're very very cool. Well, very good. And so, and you were bringing up that you've gotten to travel all over the world and field herp, and that's something that's you highlight on your Instagram and on your social media platforms,
Yes.
which there'll be links to all this down at the bottom there in the description.
Thank you.
What is that like for you, and some of the highlights, and what are your favorite areas?
My favorite area is, I think, Amazon rainforest.
Okay.
In the Amazon rainforest, everything is there, like from the huge anaconda and then the poison dart frogs. So many cool things in the Amazon rainforest. But everything is so difficult to see.
Yeah.
So yeah, so every time I go there, I miss something. And then I feel like I need to go again.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so I'm stuck in Amazon rainforest.
I can relate
Yeah.
with that feeling. Where yeah, that it's yes, that's relatable. Where you go, I can't figure this area out, or for me, where I mainly keep gray banded king snakes, and so every once in a while you find one in a rare spot, and then you're trying to find a partner for it. And so then you're stuck to that same spot over and over and over again till you find it. and it's daunting. So to try to gather that information of that area to go, oh, I'm trying to learn, every little aspect of it. What are some of the, I guess, without giving you, don't give any trade secrets or anything you don't, where you go, okay, this is my little secret that I figured this out. Don't share that, because I understand there's respect for that. We don't burn spots like that.
Okay.
But what are some of the things that you've learned over time that you do feel comfortable sharing, going, oh, this, like, I can't believe I didn't think about it this way, and now I think about it this way, and it's true throughout the world. You have such a unique aspect, or vision on it, that you get to experience.
Okay. So what I learned from visiting the nature is like the experience is not only to see the animal itself, but visiting the natural habitat is the is really something amazing for me, because once we visit the habitat, we know why the animals have such a particular shape of the body, particular food, feed, what they eat.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so for me, uh, not only to see the animal, but also enjoying the habitat, enjoying visiting the habitat of them. And then once I can enjoy it, I feel more appreciation to the nature. I don't need to
For
be
sure.
stressed to look for the animals.
Yes. Well, that makes sense, and that comes with maturity, right? That especially for someone in a position like yourself, where I imagine that some trips, right? It's
Mhm.
for the enjoyment and the interest, and ultimately to figure out the thing, but it's an investment in your mental Rolodex there of information,
Mhm.
and so it's critical for you to break down an area and understand it, going, hey, this is the prime habitat for this that I'm looking for.
Mhm.
And so I can understand that being there. It's fun, but at the
Yeah.
same time it's like, holy crap, I gotta find this damn thing.
Yeah.
Why can't I find it?
Uh-huh.
I sat there eating dinner, cursing it, going, damn it, until you get it
Yeah.
figured out.
And also there is another thing I really love about working with harping, is that when I go abroad, I always try to work with local people from there. And then sometimes they don't know anything about my target species. But while looking for them, I always try to talk about the animals, and then the local people get really interested.
Yes.
And even if we don't find together, he will keep looking for it after I go back to my country. And then once he find, he will give me some message with some pictures. And then he's getting more and more knowledge about the species. And then he will be really good guide for the animals later on. So he will he will make more livings from saving the animals, and he will know what he has to do to protect the species, which kind of environment the animals need. So that's what I really like about visiting abroad, and then share the spirit, what I love.
Yes, yeah. No, and it's conservation through ecotourism.
Mm-hmm.
And to get to do that again, it's the same idea we were talking about in the beginning there, where you are setting that spark off in other people, and
Yeah.
it cascades down, where that guy's going to go home, right, and at the dinner table with his family talk about it with his wife and kids, and then they're going to go to school and they're going to
Yeah.
talk to their friends about it, like, oh, you know what my dad's doing, and oh, here's a picture of that, right? Because we live in a day and age where everybody can take a picture of the animal, and how many animals does that save down the line? And it's something so interesting where, to hear these stories, and to think about you going and doing that, it's very unique, right? And it's because you're doing it. You're going to these offbeat areas and going, hey, let's figure this out. but that's a unique experience in the time and age where we are now. You know, you talk to a lot of these older reptile guys, and you know they're going all over the world, and they're the first, you know, Western guy to pop up over there and go, you know, I want your snakes and this and that, and that's already been done. No one else can do that, you know. But you're in a similar position again in a modern time frame where you're getting to kind of go to those unbeaten paths and going, hey, this is what we're doing, this is what I'm looking for, and what a cool experience to be in uh, right now. You know, that's super cool.
Thank you.
What are what are some of the highlights of the people you've got to work with? That's something you talk about where you go, you know, it's cool to see the people there.
Mhm. Like last year, I
Huh?
was in the community of Ecuador. Uh, I needed to take boat for 12 hours to be there, and then there's no tourist like accommodation. There's no restaurant. There's no shop we can buy anything. So they're living from with the forest, with the Amazon rainforest. They
Yeah.
cultivate their food. They go to hunt the peccary to eat. And then I was there for months to see all the animals there. And then at first they didn't care that much about the animals. But I was going to the forest every day and then listening birds, seeing the animals. They really have good eyes to see the animals.
Yeah.
So once I once they know what I wanna take picture and what I am looking for it, they are really good at looking for it, even if they didn't have any experience for wildlife. So after that, after I came back from there, they keep sending me pictures of what they see. So I think they opened their mind, like what animals they started to care what animals in which habitat,
Yeah.
and then yeah, I really like the experience. I really like when they care about the animals, and then yeah, I think I yeah, that's really cool to what I did. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean 100%. I think that is
Mhm.
super cool. And you know, I think that that highlights something there where you know, I don't know if you've experienced this, but I've experienced this where when let's right for me personally, I maybe get to go in the past. I'd go on like 2 week long trips a year to certain areas, and I'd spend a week looking in that area, and then that would be, and you know, little one night trips when I could. But for the most part, it was that. And I felt like every time I first got out there, it was like it took me a few days to kind of warm up and get my snake eyes going, where it's
Yeah.
just like I'm sure you've done it where you're walking and just out of the periphery of your vision you go, oh, there's a snake, you know, and it just boom, there it is. And you recognize, you know, your primal brain kind of locks into what you're looking for. And so in a situation like that where you're surrounded by people that there's a 12-hour boat ride to wherever they got to go to get help, I can only imagine how locked in they are to their surroundings and what's going on around them. Yeah, I couldn't even, man, man, what would that be like to hang out with those people? That's so cool, you know, where as someone that you know, I assume you appreciate that like I appreciate that to be able to like spot snakes like that real quick and just animals in general and to hang out with people that that is their whole life.
Hmm.
Um, huh, that's cool. Very cool, very
Thank you.
cool. Huh. Well, cool, man. That and that's yeah. And so have you gone back to that? Well, I mean, my other thing too is when you're going, hey, I want to go to this spot. I want to do this. What I assume you have an idea of a target species you're looking for and you've kind of honed it down to go, hey, I want to go to this area. Is Is it as simple as, hey, I'm buying a plane ticket to the hub city in this area, and then I'm just gonna show up at the doorstep and go, hey guys, I'm gonna live here for a month, and I'm looking for snakes.
I had a friend from
Uh,
there, so he
okay,
introduced me to the place.
okay.
Yeah, so they don't have any foreigners who visit there
Yeah,
without like someone know about the place.
yeah,
So without my friend, I couldn't be there.
yeah. Well, I'm sure I've experienced this when I've been out of the country where I walk in and for me when I speak, also I just don't look like most of the people there. It's like, what the hell is this guy doing here? What is that like for you? Where I mean, especially a village like that, like I'm sure they don't see you walking around every day. They're like, who the hell is this guy?
Yeah. So at first, it's same. Many people think snakes are dangerous,
Yeah.
and then please don't try to look for it. Please don't bring it to the village. But I take the pictures and then show it to them, and then they say like, "Oh, this is beautiful," and then they started to see the animals, the differences, which one is the venomous, which one is not venomous, which one is more aggressive, which one is not. So yeah, I like the process how they change the mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I really like to visit those places.
Yeah. No, I mean, I agree with you 100%. I think that would be so cool. And to get that outreach, where, very often, right, in the context that I see it, where you see a lot of people, posting online going, oh, what's this and that. And, as I've been in the hobby longer, I find myself just not saying my opinion on it. And, that's not good. People that have been doing it for a while, that have good education on it, they should be saying, well, hey, maybe this, and yeah, okay, you're going to run into the dumbass, but it's probably worth it just to throw out the comment and leave it. And so then someone like yourself that, I mean, you're making real change in areas where, you know, these people are going to find value in them. And you see it. It is so cool when you gain appreciation for when you see other people gain appreciation for the thing that you think is cool. And that's a unique thing. It's
I agree that.
yeah. No, that's so cool, man. What are some of the what are some other highlights of some of the trips that you've done? Maybe species that you were looking for that when you finally found it, like the ground gecko, that really kind of
Okay, I also like Madagascar,
okay.
and then last year I was there for 3 months to see as many species of the Europlatus, the lifted geckos,
Yes, sir.
and also the chameleons.
Uh,
And then finding Europlatus in the nature is amazing. They camouflage so much. They are just a leaf in the nature.
yeah.
So so I really like harping in Madagascar too.
Very cool.
Hmm.
Well, so with Europlatus, how many species did you end up finding?
I found 11 species.
Wow. Very cool.
Not
That's
much,
so cool.
but yeah,
I
it's really
mean,
cool.
that's great, right?
Yeah.
But then too to have 3 months to do that, did you stay in one area and work your way out, or did you kind of move around and have set time
I
schedules?
I bought a car and I was
Okay.
sleeping in the car and I tried to go as many places as possible.
Oh, that's so cool. Well,
Yeah.
what was that like? Were you just sleeping on the side of the road places?
Uh, for the safety, I try to sleep in the parking lot of the national parks,
Okay.
but sometimes I couldn't make it. So after getting dark, I slept where I don't see any people, and I try to start driving before getting the sun.
Yeah.
for the safety.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Well, what? So, did you ever at any of those spots? Did you ever have anybody come knock on your window or anything?
Yeah. Again, sorry again.
I said, did you like? So you're asleep, right? You're sleeping in your car. You're on the side of the road. I think we've all slept in our car at least once.
Hmm.
Worst case scenario, somebody tapping on my window at 2 o'clock in the morning, going, "What are you doing?" Did you
Yeah.
ever run into that?
No, not because I always try to sleep where I don't see any people.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's good. I
Yeah.
mean, you did it smart, man. Put in your little reptile brain. I need
Yeah.
to hide here. That's dude. That's so
Sometimes
cool.
yeah, sometimes people are more dangerous than the snakes.
Yeah, 100%. That's what I'd be scared about.
Yeah.
I've I've had my scary run-in with snakes, but I've had scary run-ins with the rancher that doesn't understand what you're doing, pulling up, telling where you're like,
Yeah.
I'm about to get shot here. This is great. That dude, again, that's so badass to just have the fortitude to go out and go, I'm gonna buy a car and I'm gonna sleep in that car. That's crazy, and I love it. That's so
Thank
cool.
you.
Hell yeah, dude. You're a badass, man. I like it. Well, so and what was that experience like for you? What were you eating? What did you
Yeah, I ate the bread. I ate anything I can buy from the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause I assume you weren't like cooking. Like were you firing up a grill at all or anything? You're just
No,
like
I didn't cook at all for 3 months.
oh yeah. Did you lose weight or did you put on I assume you lost a lot
I
of
lost
weight.
some weight. I lost some weight.
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude. That's badass. That's so cool. That is super cool. I love it. It's funny where something where I just called this guy about this guy's name is Jeff Adams, local guy here in Texas, and when I was talking to him, he's a little bit older than me. He was talking about the color of life and talking about the younger generation doesn't have it. And when he first said it, I kind of had some pushback from it, where I was like, "Nah, man, that's not true. Like we do plenty of cool stuff. What are you talking about?" And then I keep talking to these guys, and the stories just get cooler and cooler. I'm like, damn, it's never gonna happen. Like, damn, I just can't experience it. And part of the thing he says, no one's gonna go out and do it. And it's like, well, that's fair. Like, okay, yeah, you're right. I'm not just gonna take a plane trip to Madagascar and buy a car and camp on the side of the road and say, hey, I'm looking for this. But you're doing it. And what a cool life you're living and you're
Thank you.
experiencing, man. That's super cool.
Yeah.
Well, what are some of any on besides just all the Europlatus and the chameleon? What were the chameleons like there? What were some of the highlights there for you?
What I found is like they live everywhere. As long as they have some trees,
Yeah,
chameleons are everywhere. So it's so amazing because chameleon is has such a unique method to get the food with long tongue,
yes,
and then we don't see such a unique system to get the food. But in Madagascar, it's everywhere. So for me, like Madagascar have something unique only from there,
yeah,
and the incredible species is all over the country.
yeah,
So I really like to visit like nowhere. Like there's one place near the sugarcane factory, and then so many people working there, and then there's no national park, there's no forest reserve, anything. But there are so many beautiful chameleons over there.
yeah,
So it's really cool to see those places. And without the car, I couldn't do it.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I like it. Yeah.
Well, that's so cool where it that I can again relate with that where it's cool to find stuff where you don't think you're necessarily going to find stuff. Where that the average person isn't going to go. And I can 100% relate with that. And that is, again, so cool. It's cool that the overlap there, right? Where the different experiences and the difference in, just where we grew up, but with that common interest, there's that same thing where it's like, Yes, that is badass to find the thing where no one else is finding it. And that's what's so cool about this hobby is there's that underlying toe of reptiles that kind of highlights the the nothing spot. You know what I mean? For over here in Texas, a lot of the herping that we do, because we have so much private land, is what we have access to. So a lot of it is going to be rock cuts on the side of the road. Are you familiar with that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, it's just those areas, and and that's what we get to do. And so to find the weird spot that you can get access to legally off the side of the road and go, oh, I found something here. Uh, very cool. You're just doing it
Yeah.
like a superhero, you know?
Thank you.
You need a snake hunting Superman cape. That's so cool. Well, so what are some of your other adventures like where,
Mm,
I mean, might just be normal for you, but maybe not for the layman like myself.
I don't know, but when I work as a tour leader,
Uh,
I in Japan, birding tour is the most popular one. Birding
yeah,
for birding. But when I go birding tour, I always look for reptiles
yeah.
and then some good place for birding. I found really good place for herping too.
Mm,
Yeah, so yeah, that's what I really like. I like to visit new places to look for good places.
yeah.
Yeah.
And by no means is a critique of any, but just your kind of your opinion and kind of what you see. What's the difference you see in the herping tourism compared to the reptile tourism? Like what's that like? The people, I guess.
You mean harping
Like
and
a
other wildlife?
Yeah, so right, I imagine, right, if like do you have people that come on trips and they're just like, "Hey, I'm just here for herping," or is it normally like, "Oh, I want to look for reptiles, but I also want to see this and this?" Or is it like with birders where they go, oh, "I'm just here for birds." Like that's my interest in it.
Uh-huh.
Um what where the do you see any differences there in the people?
I think for the birds, they are more into birds, only birds. They want to see more species of birds. But for the reptiles and for the mammals, I think they want to see more and more species, including birds, reptiles, mammals. They want to see everything.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. And for the reptile species, many people really want to take picture. Yeah. For the
Yeah.
birds, some people they are okay just to see them, just
Huh.
check the birds. But for the reptiles and amphibians, many people want to take pictures, good pictures.
Interesting.
Mhm.
Huh. I think I want like just discussing here, right, for the interest of it. It I think that there's kind of levels to field herping here, where I think that there's some like, oh, I don't even touch the snake. I just take a picture of it, and then the I'm doing air quotes. Just the category below that would be, oh, I field collect the animal. Where people are like, oh, that don't do that. That's bad. Like, don't touch them. And it's just like kind of this like, oh, well, I think we're a better tier than that guy. It's people doing what they do. I kind of wonder if that's how birding is, where it's like, oh, I saw the bird. I don't even need to take a picture of the bird. I just saw it. Where it's like, oh wow, that guy's badass. He doesn't take a
They are
picture.
happy. They are happy with
Yeah,
it.
yeah. That's kind of like the ultra purist of birding, where you're like, I don't even care to take a picture. I saw it. It's good enough. I'll tell you, I saw it. Like,
So
whoa,
cool.
badass. Hell yeah. Well, that's very cool. And again, it just highlights the interest in nature and the value of protecting it. Where we're so lucky to be in a time frame where we are, where we're getting to see the things that we're doing, and the things that are not things we're doing, the things that are around us, and that there's people like yourself out there that are putting in the work, going out and traveling, and discovering the new spots and opening those up for people. That's That's super cool.
Thank you very much.
Well, excellent. As we start to wind down here, is there anything that I should have asked you about that I haven't asked you about? And then I have one other follow up question after that.
Not really, I don't know.
Fair enough. All right.
Yeah.
And then from what you see now in your experiences, where do you see the hobby going? And that could be in the whatever context that means to you. So, ecotourism hobby. What was it like when you started, and what do you see now, and where do you think it's going to be?
For the as a field herping, I think more and more local people started to learn about the herps. So I think it's gonna be easier to look for some species, and then some more people start to care about the animals. So once, like, when we love the animals, I strongly recommend them to try to look for it in the wild, even if it's really far from your home, or even if it's like the other side of the earth. I recommend to go to see them, because going to see them will eventually save the animal. And then
Yep.
more and more people think like that,
Yeah.
think that way. So I think the herping will be more and more popular than just keeping the animal itself. And then, yeah, I really hope that too. Hope the herping will be more popular for many people.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, cool. Well, thank you, man. Thank you for joining me tonight and talking with me. I appreciate your
Thank you
time that
very
you spent
much.
with me. And I hope maybe we do this again in a few years and we see what's going on and an update because I like what's going on, man. Super cool.
Okay. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. Thank you for saying yes.
Let me zoom out on you here. Okay, you got a message for the time capsule?
Yeah, and it's simply this. My prediction for you is that even though you'll forget all about this in some way consciously, next summer at about this time, you'll remember to return.